thought we did some nice things overall for a choppy Sunday afternoon game. I don't think either team would have been pleased with the flow of the game, but also we both contributed to it. Where we were changing defenses, we were going zone to man. We were both in limited foul trouble, and so just an odd game. But over the course of a 20-game Big Ten season, you have to be able to play a lot of different styles, so a lot of different ways. And we definitely got something done today. It was nice to have Roddy Gill back in the lineup. I thought his second half intensity was a big difference in how we came out after halftime. We need to continue to stay strong, healthy, and figure out different ways to win and figure out different ways to play.
Tony, you want to start us off?
Yeah, Dusty, question about Namari. Just from the beginning, you wanted him to stay here as you guys are trying to figure out who you want to stay and how you're going to work your roster. But a lot of times, I mean, he came in as a McDonald's All-American. The career didn't sort of pan out his first few years. Your thoughts on where he is now, the role he plays within this team, and
I made a joke a little bit ago to Brian, so I hate to be repetitive. I said that the Michigan fan needs to get really creative and get in Wikipedia and go to the page that says efficient and post his picture. There can't be another basketball player in the country that's playing as efficient basketball as Tamari Burnett. He's given himself to the team. He's done everything we've asked him to do. He's as consistent with his work as anyone in our program. He's almost robotic in his approach. He's a great example for young players, especially ones that their success didn't happen as quickly as they want. Sometimes it does, most of the time it doesn't, especially with older players flooding our game. And so he's a testament to, I think, all that's right in college basketball. He's found a situation where he really, really fits well with his teammates. He represents this place at the highest level as far as character and work ethic. And man, he's fun to coach. He's banging in shots. He's making good reads. He's scrappy on the glass, and he's defending at a high level as well. So very, very grateful he decided to stay and continue as a Michigan man.
Well, Steve and then Tom.
So you guys are shooting over 52% today, over 52 for the season. That's right up there in the whole nation. Talk about all that goes into that, and particularly the success that Vlad's had.
Yeah, I think the first thing that comes to my mind is self-awareness and sacrifice, those two things, because these teams come together, and not all players have great self-awareness where they're going to put their own personal goals and ambition ahead of the team. I think our entire roster is sacrificing for their teammates. And so when you have a guy that's shooting 75 or 80%, maybe I isolate over here, or maybe I throw him the ball. And it's also, there's a trust factor knowing that he's going to play the right way. He's going to play unselfishly. And so it's just, you can see these guys really buying into each other. And the tough part of it is if one guy breaks that chain, then it becomes contagious. So we just have to be very intentional every day, playing the right way. But when they look and they see Vlad and they see Danny in a 4-5 and they see Trey gets it going in a pick and roll, those guys have done a nice job of finding what's working and staying with it. And that's not always, that's much easier said than done.
And one last thing, he had to come out with 2 fouls 6 minutes into the game. He played almost another 20 minutes and didn't commit another foul. Playing in an area where fouls can be plentiful. Talk about what he did there.
You're speaking on Vlad?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put our zones in the summer, and we didn't have any intention. If things are going perfectly, we don't have intentions of playing a lot of zone. But you know that you've got to have contingencies at this level. And when you look at our team offensively, we're not near as effective with him out of the game. So I thought we did a nice job of being able to manage him playing and still being aggressive and not being in foul trouble. There are times I think he didn't go after a couple rebounds because I'd asked him, just be less, we need you, and especially in the second half, to play with aggression. So sometimes you got to give up a layup because just the value he brings in so many other areas. But once again, that's a new lesson for us. Danny was in foul trouble. Vlad was in foul trouble. I forget Will was in foul trouble. Yeah, all three of our fives had 2 fouls each early. And so those guys did a nice job of playing with discipline and still not being a matador when it comes to playing defense.
Tom.
Dusty, I'm sure you get fatigued talking about turnovers, but you got it. I'm not being facetious. You got down to 11, so that's a vast improvement. But is this just realistically your style of play, how you attack offensively? Is it just unrealistic to think that being single-digit turnovers is not really a possibility?
No, it's very realistic. Even the 11 tonight, I thought 3 or 4 were just careless mistakes. And part of it is, you know, when you play a new system, and we do a lot, we probably, if I'd say we do too little, we do too much, we do too much because we've tried to look at a lot of different things. For example, we looked at the 4-5 ball screen early in the summer, very, very early, and it didn't click right away, and then we came back to it. So we look at a lot of different things. So turnovers, if I'm used to coming off a ball screen or whatever the case, and I've played 3 years with guys who are holding space and standing, and now I remember I'm supposed to cut because my man did this, or whatever the case. So there's a lot that goes into the way we play as far as just those guys reading each other, and ultimately it comes down to reading the defense. So no, we care about the careless ones and the poor decisions. With the way we play, I mean, we want to get 80 possessions, so if it's probably not realistic to be under in single digits. If we're going to play with aggression, we're going to play speed, that many possessions, and we do want to take some chances because Vlad, rim running, I mean, that's a centimeter from being a turnover versus a dunk. We just want to make sure that all of our turnovers lead to dunks or wide open shots. If they do, then we can live with them.
Over here with Sam.
Yeah, Coach, can you talk about Sam Walter's performance tonight, especially the 8 points he had in about 2 minutes in the second half?
Yeah, Sam, you know, he's a unique talent as well. He's 6'10", he's lefty. He can really shoot. He hasn't shot near as well as he's capable of. It was nice to see him bang in a couple, but there's going to be bigger nights even for Sam. Now, rebounding, his rebounding has improved greatly. His one-on-one defense continues to improve every day. We've still got to get him better on the team defensive concepts, but he's grown. He's not happy with the way he's performed this year. He's got a big upside, and we expect Sam to continue to improve. And you just got to keep it simple. Just to clear his mind and go out and do the things that he's trained to do, and he's going to help this team a lot.
We'll go Austin, Andrew, and Alejandro.
Dusty, this doesn't seem like the kind of team where you have to wonder what you're going to get from night to night. It seems like there's a level of consistency with this team, making shots and playing with effort. Where does that come from, and how much of an asset is that as you look at a long Big Ten season?
You know, there's going to be nights when the ball just doesn't go in, and we're not making threes, but we have a very versatile group that, you know, I think we're number 1 in the country in 2-point percentage. And even, you know, one coach may say, well, why are you shooting threes? And the shooting and the spacing allows you to get those dunks and layups, and then the dunks and layups allow you to get in-out threes, step-in threes. And when you look at our step-in threes, we're one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the country. And so there lies the decision-making. Do I still shoot this shot even though I'm open? I'm going to the side, and on some teams it might be a good shot, but on this one, because we have Vlad or Danny or Trey or whatever the case, it may not be as good of a shot as we can generate. So the guys are also, they're starting to turn down some pretty good shots to continue to fight to get a great one. And that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. You know, skilled players, they're used to playing a certain way, and we're asking them to shoot these specific shots more frequently. And fortunately for us, they bought in because they have great character.
Andrew?
Yeah, with the shots you're getting, the 3-point percentage, the 2-point percentage, like you mentioned, I mean, is this the offense, is it at almost optimal levels? Is what you expect?
No, not even close.
Okay.
Not even close. Absolutely not. We're improving our ball fakes, our eye fakes, our spacing, when to cut, when not to cut. It's getting better. No, we're not functioning on an elite level offensively yet, and we're not crashing with aggression. We need to be at a championship level. We have a long ways to go.
Alejandro?
Oscar Goodman, what were the conversations like to bring him here early, and what do you want him to get out of this half a year?
You know, the NBA Academy guys, they're in a very very structured elite training environment. But obviously, I mentioned it earlier. There's a you know, floodgates of 22 to 25-year-olds entering college basketball, and it seems like there might be more if you listen to the rumors. And so we just floated that he was already done with the schoolwork, that it would help him be more ready to play next year. And whatever that means, we don't know. I mean, the roster, who knows what the roster's going to look like, but he would be more ready to play if he had a semester of practicing against Vlad and these guys, the speed, the size, the athleticism, and also learning our system. So he's more used to playing with guys. He's more used to playing with Rodney Gale or Trey Donaldson or whatever case. So we just thought it benefited him. It benefits us. He's a worker. He's a tough kid. He brings some similar qualities, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because we haven't evaluated him enough with us, but he brings some very similar qualities as Will Cheddar as far as his consistency and his work ethic.
We'll go with Megan, Anthony, and Clayton.
Go back to Murray a little bit. Past 4 games, he's shooting from 3 at 75%, but he's got 15 threes over the past couple games. You know,
Yeah, and you know, the seasons, there's ebbs and flows of a season, but I can't imagine any wing in the country that's bringing more to his team than Namari. I could talk about him for days. Like I said earlier, I mean, I think when a coaching staff mentions repeatedly how much they appreciate a player, and it's not just the 15. I mean, what he might be 15 of 18 for three. You know, one side of me says we got to get him some more threes, but we tried a few times out of timeouts today, and that attention got Vlad or Danny in easy baskets. So our guys, those are the invisible plays we're talking about. They have to feel good about their function on this team, and even if it's not on this piece of paper, it's still really important for us to be the best team we can be.
Anthony?
Trey Knight, 6 assists, no turnovers. What do you like his development is going to be engine of this game?
I thought his play in the pick and roll, they changed their coverages a few times. I thought him against the zone, he knew where to look, he knew where to get the ball. And so it wasn't one of his better games. He still hobbled a little bit with his ankle. Hopefully this week we can continue with treatment and whatnot. He didn't have the same burst, but I thought his decision-making was really, really sound. I think he had 6 assists, and he definitely had several other foul assists, you know, where we had a layup or 3 and we got fouled, and so it doesn't count as a stat. But I think when we look at our internal stats, it's going to be even more impressive. But yeah, he didn't make 3 tonight and had a great impact. 5 rebounds, you know, and we needed all 5.
Take one last one with Charles.
Yeah, Vlad mentioned that he didn't start the season the way he'd like to, but obviously that's not the case anymore. What do you think changed for him? Because he had so much success lately.
You know, it's tough when it's more difficult when you're dealing with really, really quality people that care about their teammates and they want to play unselfishly and they don't want to do too much. But, you know, I think it's all part of, you know, he's obviously playing with much more aggression than he did. We're looking for him much more than we did at that point, and I probably didn't do a good enough job because also when you move up a level, you don't know, is it going to translate the same, a little less? You know, there's a lot of guys that move up to the Power 5 level that it just doesn't translate or just doesn't fit. And so maybe that was a little bit of us trying to figure out, is he going to be as effective as he was? And so we didn't get him the ball enough. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, but you know, I'm gonna take the hit on that we just weren't looking for him as much as we should have. But he's playing at a much higher level. He's moving better. He's adjusted to the physicality, and it's strange with Vlad. It seems like when you play the bigger, more physical teams, he plays better. And so early in the year, we were playing these smaller teams that were more like gnats around him as opposed to, you know, big physical bodies. So I think that plays a part as well. I mean, we've recruited junior college basketball for years at the mid-major level, and a big in JUCO usually struggled because of that, the smaller, more athletic guys being underneath them and keeping them off balance.
Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.